really have a counterplay against that until maybe you get your Ags up, then you can try to freeze the AM, but Counterspell again just ruins that for you. So it's pretty smart for them to shift that out, and it makes it a lot spicier. You know, we were talking about that first phase looking a bit bog standard here, Mike. Definitely not a bog standard ending for RNG here.
I love it though. I mean, it's one of those things like +3 AM. It's weird, but we've seen it work for multiple teams before, and again against the Medusa, it makes sense. Hell, even against the DP and the puck, it makes a lot of sense, and it even gives you a nice way of blinking to the back lines and just cancelling off Mortimer's kisses. If the Snapfire does get a nice kisses off, you just blink, mana void, suddenly no more kisses available in the team fight. I don't mind it. I think this is a great +3 AM game. My only question still stands: what is Chalice going to build? And he's already got a Ring of Health queued up here on this offlane anti-mage. So maybe we see a Vanguard build up to get started.
Yeah.
But what happens after that is my question. Like, where's he going?
I like the idea of Vanguard Diffusal. I still don't think your Diffusal idea could work out. Beyond that, you could go Aura. You could be the Wraith Pack builder. Blink in. Wraith Pack is kind of meme-ish, but also really not bad up against Talon's lineup, and then just kind of maybe build your Basher from there. Ags could be pretty damn useful as well. Blink Fragments onto the Medusa could be nice.
Zep's going to run forward. X-Nova, not really going to mess around here. Realizes he can't do much. He'll just let the Banner go. They'll get 2 for 2 anyway. The bottom ones were taken by the side of RNG, so a very nice start for both sides. What lane should we start with, Jonathan? Do you want to decide which lane we're looking at?
Let's take a look at mid, I guess, as her camera is pointed there, and I can't really think too well. Mikado on the puck, up against Somnus and DK. We start with the most boring lane, Mike.
What was your
You've seen
choice,
this a million times. Yeah, but you know, get it out of the way. It's puck versus DK. It's not very action-packed. Somnus is going to farm. Mikado's going to farm. Rune control is more important for Mikado. No one is going to die unless someone severely missteps and dives the tower. Support rotations could be nice. Maybe Zephyr gets a good early move out, but probably not going to come anytime soon with Tiny needing a lot of levels to get that done.
Right. That's the last time I give you the choice of picking the lane, John. You chose the DK lane of all things. Never again.
Yeah, just get it out. You know, get it over with.
Never again, John. Bottom lane, Hyde and Kaka going at it right now. Of course, Savage is going to be there on the position 1 Medusa, and they'll be against the position 3 AM by Chalice. John, this lane, I imagine, should also be relatively boring. Anything in particular we need to keep an eye on here in this bot lane?
Not too much. You could maybe try to get aggressive if Papa overextends. Since Chalice trying to just use that early mana burn to rip through Savage. And it does melt his mana away. Doesn't have enough to toss out the Mystic Snake. Without the Snake, a lane control for Medusa does get pretty tough. And they are using their spells really well. Hyde just getting blasted away with a Concussive Blast. Can't really trade with a Scatter Blast because Skyrat Mage is pretty damn speedy and does hit from a mile away. So that's going to force Talon to expend a lot of resources to stay in lane. And if you're RNG, that's all you kind of want. Slow down the Deuce as much as possible. Force the buyouts on Mangos and Tangos. And just keep getting this nice passive lane going for Chalice to farm up on.
Yeah, I take it back, John. It doesn't seem like it's going to be a boring lane whatsoever because Chalice wants to get so aggressive here on the AM along with this Skyrath. And I mean, why the hell not? You can just burn all the mana of 23 Savage, and with the amount of damage Kaka can just pump out on the Skyrath Mage, you're going to be feeling very good about it. Of course, that final lane we were just having a look at was the top lane, where you saw X-Nova and Anna against KP on the DP, and you're also going to have Zephyr there on the Tiny. I did think Anna was going to run the POS 1 AM against the Death Prophet, but I suppose the Razor's pretty good as well. Sure, oh, never mind, bot lane, Hyde was dropping rather low here on the Snapfire, but is still going to survive, but no, not for long. He turned around and went back to the fight.
Yeah, I don't think he had too many options left. Out of regen, might as well just get reset, go back in. That does give an opening to jump onto Savage here.
Yeah, it certainly does, John. Savage, he'll turn on the mana shield, but that's not going to matter because he's got no mana. Chalice able to clean up Savage, and my goodness, this bot lane already spicing up here from RNG. This AM pick, John, just so effective thus far. Meanwhile, top lane Zephyr gonna drop to Anna and X-Nova. And I was just kind of mentioning, against the Death Prophet, you don't mind playing Razor. He'll go for the Spirit Siphon, you go for the Static Link. It's a better trade for Anna.
Yeah, you kind of win out on a Razor. KP's going to have to try to run away, but Razor's equally speedy to keep up and keep his link up. So you're not going to have a good time in just getting that. And RNG already off to a great start, 0-3. 1k lead their way. Just running these lanes very effectively. For Talon, they're going to need levels. Both Zephyr and Hyde are going to need to hit like level 4 to really be effective to get those rotations onto mid. And it does feel like for Talon, their launching point will have to be Mikado. Considering how the side lanes are going, it's all in on the puck, maybe getting an early rotation, getting an early level 6 and 7, and trying to get some action on the map for Talon's end. At RNG, their lanes are going well. They don't really have anything to worry about yet. They just hit their level timings, maybe rush that blink out on Somnus, and you start playing around with the Dragon Tails done. It's going to be easy to find these pickoffs.
Well, absolutely. Absolutely, Jonathan. Already 0-3 the way of RNG. Just a brilliant start here for the Dire team. And that mid lane going very well for Somnus as well. Very even, though, between him and Makoto. As bot lane, Cookie is there, but Hyde in trouble once again as Chalice will chase him down, and Hyde is going to drop. He just can't sustain through the damage being pumped out by Kaka. But to be fair, John, Kaka already with 2 null talismans, so that arcane bolt damage gonna hurt a lot more with all that bonus in. Well, Hyde, he's gonna stick up, but it's just not making the difference here.
Nah, he's got the raindrops as well, but that will probably just melt next time he's around. And already RNG just dominating every lane every single time. They just blink up and go running.
He just came back here, John. Hyde, gotta be careful not to die, but he's just copped so much damage. And this drafting from RNG was just genius, John. This AM pick, it's annihilating them here down a bot lane.
Yeah, you're getting a lot out of it. They're starting to drop low on Ana though, but he has decent enough damage here.
Siphon is there from KP, but the Arctic Burn was out from X-Nova, so he does back his way out. While all this is happening, John, Somnus has popped the Dragon Form and gets started on the mid tower, but Savage now bot lane in trouble once again as he has no mana and he's gone. Chalice. So aggressive on the AM, and they can't do anything about it.
They have nothing to stop it. Like, their stun puts Hyde in the firing line. If he does want to stop Chalice, they're going to have to sacrifice Hyde. And there's no play from Talon. You know, they're just going to have to try to play it passive. There are no stacks built up as well. Kaka goes through the reset. There's no recovery plan for Savage. He's 2 levels behind right now. Chalice already halfway to 6. Savage just hitting level 4 himself. And if you don't manage to find a way to give this Goose a build-up, to give it some farming space, it's going to fall flat on its face. Just no stacks, no nothing so far on the map.
No, certainly not. X-Nova takes an illusion in for himself and is really in no danger. He's just fine to walk his way back to the Dire jungle. It's a real problem, like Chalice going to hit level 6, Savage level 4. You get that Mana Void up, John. Chalice, he's been having no problems draining the mana of Savage, and 1 Mana Void's just going to blow him up completely. It's such a big problem already. The thing is as well, the side lanes and the other lanes here have not gone that well for Talon either. Like, Makoto's doing great in the mid lane of the puck, but that's because it's an even trading lane against the Dragon Knight. And top lane, it really hasn't been that amazing for KP. He's doing fine, but they are not able to slow down Ana, which means he should be able to get involved quite early here on the Razor during this game number 1. And well, you've got to be a little bit afraid right now if you are a Talon fan.
Yeah, it's a slow game, RNG. If they manage to maintain this pace up until the 10-minute mark, that's where it gets really scary for Talon. You know, they need to find a way to open up the map. I think it's about time they start to consider just playing with Mikado. About to hit level 7, doesn't really have anything yet, only the ground boots and the null. But they need to try to make something happen with the green coil.
Thought they might have made the jump in on Savage, but Chalice just deciding to CS instead. And look at the net worth for John. Top 3 heroes, all on the side of RNG, just implying that every lane has gone the way of RNG, and you'd certainly agree with those statistics. The Somnus, mid lane again, to get started with that Dragon Ball. Zephyr, gonna try and help out, and they'll pop the green coil, but they miss the toss back. Somnus, he's very happy about that, and well, Zephyr, John, he was way off the mark with that toss.
Yeah, I think he didn't want to risk it. They knew there was a TB coming in, so he didn't want to overstep, but doesn't manage to get the toss back. No kill opportunity. That's Dream Coil on cooldown, and that should allow Somnus to just keep shoving in that mid. Only half duration Dragon Form, but should get some decent ship damage. They even have Cockroach in here.
Why the hell not? Kaka already having a great game himself in Skyrim, but he's going to back his way out. Meanwhile, Makoto now, chase down, Dragon Dog going to connect, and he already committed the orb. Unable to jaunt away, he is going to drop. Somnus, able to secure the kill into the mid-puck, and well, the Dragon Ball is going to wear off, but maybe a bit more chip damage to come onto that mid-tier 1 tower in the meantime. Speaking of meantime, John, in the meantime, high down the bot lane, in trouble once again as the Sapphire is going to drop the Chalice. That's the third kill for Chalice during this position 3 AM. Meanwhile, top lane, Anna is being lost back by Zephyr, but an immediate TP out. Can they stop him? Not quite. Quick thinking from Anna, knowing there was no way to cancel. Oh boy. 0-7 now, the way of RNG.
Yeah, it's a really strong showing out from RNG. Just playing every single lane great, understanding what they want to do with this draft. They've hit their early momentum. We talked about that 10-minute timing count, still not finding much. So they've got to try to get Savage going. He is farming up in the triangle, fairly secure, has some stacks built up now, and at the least Talon will find that top tier 1. RNG already shoving in bot, but not the quickest push coming out from Chalice. It's going to take a while to equalize the map. They are kind of set to start playing aggressive though. Smoke out from RNG already.
They want Savage again, John. They are not leaving this man alone. They've done their homework. They know Savage. He'll just disappear off the map for the next 20 minutes to just farm. But now Savage doesn't realize he's getting ganked up and he's gone. Even Anna cutting him off in the mid lane, forcing him back into the triangle. It's a perfect setup by RNG. And now that mid-tier 1 tower is gone. In the meantime, at least they find Chalice down the bot lane, but John, considering that you're getting the mid-tier 1 tower, you've got to be so happy as RNG, because now they have full access to the Radiant jungle. That's going to make life even more challenging for this Medusa.
And just look at the rewards. They have really good vision down on bot jungle. They have a forward board in the triangle. They just know every single spot where this Medusa will want to farm up. Savage is set for a very tough game. He's healing up a Midas. He knows how far behind he is. He needs the XP. He needs some source of stable gold. And that just cuts off his aggression. If you're not going for the usual faster Manta Dragonlance build up, it's going to be a lot longer. And Chalice is just keeping track of it.
Oh, I don't know what Chalice is doing. Look at this. I mean, Savage, all his mana's gone. You've got Mana Void up if you want to pop it. Hyde, he's in a cookie, but I think Savage is dead. He's gone. Chalice, going for more now as Hyde. He's going to try to run, but there's no juke away from Chalice that I think is Somnus. He'll take the kill with the Breathe Fire. I know I've said it multiple times this game, but this last pick AM, this position 3 AM, just so smart from RNG. It has made life impossible for Talon. Makoto now, out of mana, is going to back towards the base, but it just feels like everyone's out of mana constantly on Talon.
Yeah, they just have no play. Once Chalice shows up with the Vanguard, you have no magical burst, you have no physical burst, you have no way of pinning him down. They catch Zephyr out here down as well.
Yeah, but they do. Zephyr, he's going to try to fight back, but there's nothing he can do. RNG, they are just smothering Talon here. Punishing the greed of the draft. Zephyr is just going to drop the Somnus once again. And now that bottom tier 1 tower is not going to be long for this world. 1-12, 6k advantage to RNG. John, I'm going to ask, how did Talon come back into this game? Because so far, it's just been a very one-sided affair.
It's off the back of Mikado. If he somehow manages to make plays, if he manages to get pickoffs with the coil tossback, they can kind of try to stall out from there, but it doesn't feel like they're going to be able to. Look at Chalice.
He's right. He is no fear in the world this AM. Thinking him right into the Radiant Triangle, knowing that he can't die. If you want to give him a Dream Core, you can, but he's going to bang up. He's not the easiest target to get, and it's very frustrating to have to try and deal with this anti-mage Zephyr. Not seeing Somnus yet. We'll find out the hard way. Somnus was there with the Invis, and he's going to drop. It's going to be a long time until he has a big dagger up with his tiny. The way this is going, John. 12.5 minutes of the game, there's nowhere near it. It's now Hyde. Going to be chased down. Hyde comes with Mana, and he's going to drop. No way out. 1-4 games. They go for 4 now. Make it 15. Savage. He's going to try to run his way back towards the fountain, but the Ancient will keep up with the shield on. Eventually gets it for Chalice. He's back in. The Mana Void though not proving to be enough, as he was pretty much full mana by the time he did pop it. And with that RNG, 1-14, 7k advantage. and not slowing down whatsoever.
This is exactly what they need to do. They know how Talon plays. They like to play a little bit of a slower game, especially when they pick up that Dusa. Savage at least has the Midas, but it's a long road left yet for him to catch up. And as long as RNG keeps that vision game up, keeps playing forward here, they don't have massive cooldowns to wait for him. It's really just Dragon Tail stun plus anything else. You don't even need the Mystic Flare on top. You've got enough damage on hand. Just play it where you want. They will go for a smoke play out on RNG once more. They find Savage again. Just kind of tough to come back.
Well, at least he's got a line, John, I guess. They could see Zephyr. Meanwhile, top lane, you've got Zephyr. Speaking of the devil, Tiny, not going to make it out. Zephyr will die once again, and RNG, they're reading them like a book, John. They are just reading the movement of Talon as if it was all written already. The Soniqs now back towards the ball lane, wants to set up onto Makoto. Arthur already there with the silence. Look at this! You just don't expect this kind of aggression. RNG going for a bit more now, is hiding, they're trying to TP out, and they've got no way to cancel. At least get the Snapfire out of there. But 1 to 16 now. And again, they just have no space on the map.
No. They're just everywhere all at once here. On RNG Sense. They might find Ana.
Be a great target. If they can find it, Ana is going to go for a run. It's going to be a nice curse out. The Avalanche will still there as Ana. Still trying to get away. KP dropped on himself, but gets the kill for his team. And will barely make it out with his life attack. Talon, they need a few more of those, John. In that mid lane, they've got Talon locked down. Silence is there. The AM dropping rather low, but the blink is going to be up just in the nick of time. Chalice, he will survive another day.
Yeah, I guess we are reaching at reality of maybe a certain scoreline coming out, Mike. Talon will have to stop at 3, but I don't think that's going to be too tough for RNG to keep down, and RNG should easily find that additional 6 kills we'll need for the match number. We'll see. Talon has 2 kills, pretty important kills to find. Killing Ana kind of helps, give them some space up top. I think considering the heroes they've been sacrificing recently on Talon, as long as it's Zephyr and Hyde that are dying, you have some room to recover. Not wide room, mind you.
He's going to be there, Hyde, and hope to get away. They leave him right to Savage, though. Chalice again, just with this Vanguard up, has no fear. To tank AM for now. Back to the base, Talon goes. Top lane, more TTs coming in. Zephyr. May get caught, but instead they want to try and chase down KP. In fact, they might just find both of them. Both of them have been scouted out after KP. Is going to be able to run his way out. Zephyr. And just make it forward, but no curse there. X-Nova, not playing around. We'll take down Zephyr once again. And it's well worth the curse. You're putting so much delay on this blink dagger timing of Zephyr. And it's so important for you to have that up, because you are relying on the green coil into the blink toss away. But it's never going to be there at this rate.
Yeah, just not coming out. And I think for Talon, even though that's stalling out the Tiny's blink timing, he would still rather have that.
Not Savage. Oh my goodness. Somnus can't. I mean, they annihilated John. Level 1 Mystic Flare just removed all his mana. You don't even need Chalice anymore.
No. They have no protection. You only have Midas and Dusa. You don't really have stats. Just a bit of a sitting duck right now. And again, it needs so much more time to catch up. 8k lead for RNG. Almost feels unplayable for Talon. As Momoto can right now is to split push as best as he can. Work on his blink and try to stall the game as much as possible. Which again, RNG is not allowing them to do too much. Now, as long as you prevent them from going for the tier 2s, you're fairly happy. X-Nova still keeping track of KP here.
X-Nova, who used to be have the KP, he's just in the wrong. It's so fast-paced from RNG. Just so damn fast-paced. The worst part is they're still all confident in it. Like, they've been moving around the map constantly. They're not sitting in the lane and hitting creeps, but they're still finding their worth somehow. 9k advantage off the back of RNG. Talon, again, they are still on their side of the map, but their side of the map has become incredibly small at this point. There's just nowhere to farm. Look at RNG, they're just holding the Radiant Jungle hostage right now. Chalice, he's a +3 AM John, but he may as well be a +1 AM. He's just farming Radiant Jungle.
getting him once. Gonna go on to man next. Even more burn. More jump coming out. Mikado gonna have shot here. Oh,
Chalice, right on target. They've done their homework, RNG, I'll tell you, John. They really done their homework. Mid lane, Anna, in trouble. Rather, Ice is trouble. Anna, he is the trouble. As Savage, gonna force him back to lead. It's still gonna be enough break gap. You talk about that particular scoreline, John. We are very close to that scoreline, but I'm starting to think we might need a reverse 3-2 at this stage.
Yeah, could come out and Talon haven't been aggressive at all in a very long time. I don't think they're going to find an opening, considering how durable RNG is and how shrunk the map is. So, I guess try to shoot for 12 more kills on RNG's end. I mean, 2 kills could be nice, but Talon getting that 1 kill, looking like a 0% chance right now. 96% chance for RNG to win this one. Yes, smooth going for RNG. Talon, well, may have to just adjust for the next game. It's not over. They're still trying to stall, but I don't see the angle unless it stalls out for like 40 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. For Savage gets a lot of farm. Mikado hits his level spikes, level 5 on Hawk with Blink. Green is going to feel good, but that's a lot of golden time here.
It's a hell of a golden time, John. He's nowhere near the stage where he can really fight here in this dota. 10k advantage to RNG. They just control the whole map. Mikado, he's going to be in the mid lane. Almost the axial is immediately out in the Mystic Flare. Mikado surviving now the curse is out. Whole group down. Onto Savage they go. They want the Medusa. He's already out of matter. He's just gone. Oh boy, it's not even close. Onto high, that'll be another. Maybe Baseline has absolute skills to get something, but the cold embrace out. Soniqs is still alive. They cannot get the kill. 4 down. RNG dropped nothing. X-Nova with the perfect curse onto 3 heroes. And well, that'll be a mid-2 tower on. If you're Talon on, I realize you already said they probably start thinking about the next game, but at this point they might start thinking about GG calls because this is not even close. There's Avalanche Toss, they at least find Soniqs. A lot of gold going away for Tiny. Problem is, it's not the Tiny you need the gold right now.
Yeah, it's not here you want to hand that gold to, and you also lose the magical scoreline as well.
Lane. The wide but find another. 4-24 now, so they double their kill score here on the side of Talon. Happy days for them. And Talon, they will not let anything quite yet. They're going to play this one out the best of their ability. Again, they're not out of this game yet. There is still a chance. They just need a hell of a lot of time.
Yeah, a lot of time. Talon's a team that does play on edges.
Probable. His coiled up, is going to start to move it. Callus, he does move it as well. Stone, he's going to pepper flame up. Callus, right in. The Giga Chat, he just got the crap. Onto Savage, they get the Medusa now. The curse is out. Oh, they can't hide. On the snap fire, he's going to drop. They want a little bit more. They want to set Tiny. They want revenge on the side of RNG, but they won't have it. Or will they? Callus, still chasing. Pepper, he's not out of the woods yet. In fact, he runs right back into the arms of Chalice. Bye-bye, Pepper. He knows he's gone. I agree with this too. Chalice has literally won RNG in this game. Single-handedly.
Pretty much. Yeah, just kept running down on that safe lane, not getting hide, or Savage. Wait. Tier 2 tower falls mid, and they just have the angle to high ground. Mikado going forward, though. No one to back them up, just trying to stall the inevitable. For Talon, I don't know. There's no new development. It's still the same story. We'll need to try to stall out as much as possible. A little bit more play with the double they have, but you're going to need EKKs on a lot of cores. You're going to want some 4-staff to save from the flares. You're going to need Savage farm like a madman, and none of that is looking pretty. They're all still really behind. Still a 14k lead for RNG. At the least, core-wise, it's a 4k lead for every core. So it's one item on every core. It's not like it's all piled on. And that can give a little bit more for Talon. It's a stretch there, Mike. It's tough.
It's a real stretch. Hide. Get caught out by cutscenes. In comes X over as well. They might sit on KP, but never mind. They'll take line. No problem. Hide's gone. Into the pre-line they go KP. He's going to be okay to TP out. 5:29 now. 15k advantage the way of RNG. And even with 3 heroes from RNG moving up towards the top lane, they don't say really move too far out of their base, but they do at least make their way back to the Radiant Jungle. That is going to buy a bit time here for Savage. He's so far behind right now. Even with the minus up, he's still got 4k behind Anna. He's just had no space. Literally none.
Yep. Map's just empty. Talon we have much control to insert all on map RNG when getting all the plays out, planting all the boards, and keeping everything shoved out. They haven't made any play for Roshan that could secure them the high ground here in RNG. Childs again just always on to hunt Savage.
Yeah. It's his job. Follow Savage. Annoyed the crap out of Medusa. Link forward. It's a very aggressive link. Callus will get punished here. Dodo is going to make a jump. He's a tank boy on the AM. They'll break coil. They have damage. Another jump. He's going to be right in front of them. He might just make it. Oh my goodness. Just TP out. Nothing else necessary.
Yeah. He's just extra durable. Max out counter spell. Magic doesn't do enough. Vanguard block physical. They don't have that much physical on hand that burns through that. And it's not the target to go for. They drop everything they have combo. Now Chalice is ready to go again.
Avalanche will hold for that front row. Chalice on Void. 5 to 30. More tips coming out here. X-Nova this time handing both Chalice. On the bright side, John, they still have not approached high ground rounds into things, so... What's sort of
Roshan at least? You know, there's Roshan and then go high round. So that's all they really need to achieve that. Defense for Talon is pretty dicey. Dream Coil's nice with Stone Gaze, but they don't have follow for any of that. Manta Style's kind of ready to go on Savage, but looks like he might actually opt for the Silver Edge first to have something to play with instead. Don't know if Manta's been enough anyway. So let's see. Map is completely shrunk. No outer towers left for Talon. They're trying to find farm outside or high ground while they can, clearing out the Ancients on the dire side. It's 5 to 30. It's it's gonna be just Talon trying to exploit small mistakes any show itself to solve because RNG just plays the perfect game.
They really have Chalice now. They have this held up, making life even more challenging for Savage. Here we go again. KP may get spotted by X-Nova. In fact, Tom is there, forcing out the KP, and KP is going to be just fine to back off. He all set up. He's going to go run on this tiny. The arm burst there. X-Nova not going to play around with this man. Just lock him down and take him out. And again, sort of go the way of Naka, perhaps. And it will be. Naka will take this one. Another kill for the side of RNG. And still just no escape for Talon. This game number 1. Not quite yet.
Yeah, they're getting some build up. Hado has at least one defensive item to break off the ancient seal with the Yules. The Blink Dragon Seal is going to be an issue. It does allow a little bit more play on that puck. And Savage again just holding on to goal, trying to make a decision between Scott, Manta, and his Silver Edge. See what he opts for. But yeah, 17k lead for RNG, 5-1. They have everything. AC going to be up on now. Savage.
Very tough times. Very tough times. They have the ground here. It's I'm kind of up the right. Jumping They get something trouble. They are exclusive. This is fun. Aster gets it. But he's gone. He's certainly gone. They'll have a little bit of fun before he dies. High ground perhaps is coming.
Caught. Okay.
Down, over. Hold down, up, letting up, patient, but how to get out of this? It's not going to be easy, it's going to be nearly impossible. He does go down, on the 3,000 they go. Talon, I'm not sure if they want to try and hold against these racks going down, but maybe they see some light at the end of the tunnel with their draft. I personally don't. Into the mid-3 they go.
Yeah, it's Dota, right? And can happen, although the probabilities of that are very low. Mid-rack is just going to fall with no defense. They need Mikado around to play. They're just going to try and farm where they can. It looks like they're just going to get Mega now. Against Megas, you at least have a Dusa, but they buy back.
Dota muscle is 0% right now, John. On top rank, go. They're trying to find the clear to take down the no problem. Savage, going to try and fight back. Anna, he's got the golden brace protected. He's taking no damage right now. It's the coil. It's going to lock down Talon. Can you actually take AM down? Not quite yet. He's the one to drop. In goes Anna. Right in the middle. Savage, he's out once again. He's gone. GG, they have seen enough side of Talon. They will get taken down for game by RNG. But I'd hate to be anti-hype, but if it was not close, is it a draft issue?
Felt like a lot of it could have been boiling down to draft. They had some options to fix that right. They could have gone for an early lane swap on. Lena plus Avalanche toss and Tiny down the line to burst them down early on. So you have some solutions. I am keen to see what they will do in the laning phase to slow that down, because there's not many answers left to slow the Bristleback. DP is suboptimal, it feels like, although that will force the Bristle to consider something like an early Hood of Defiance just to deal with Spirit Siphon, but again, not particularly concerning as long as you turn your back. And they will go for the Sniper. I have not seen this out from Talon. Savage, Sniper, Mikado, Alina, and they will stick with a KP Pango. All right, so, you know what? I like this, because you don't have backline jump. We talked about mobility from RNG. Line Blink is their mobility, Mike. And that means Savage is going to be very safe in the backline until Kaka gets a Blink.
John, my only problem with that, right, is you've got a Dawnbreaker. Chalice is playing that Dawnbreaker. Assuming you can close the gap, right? Like, assuming Anna breaks the gap on Savage, or even anyone else, X-Nova, Kaka gets in there with the Blink Earth Spike, you're going to have Chalice Solar Guardian in straight away, and with the global presence of the Zeus, with Nimbus and Thunder God's Wrath, I don't know if Savage is going to be able to survive. I realize it's not the greatest backline jump, but I don't know about this, John. Pos 1 Sniper, it's going to be interesting. I feel like I'm lacking faith in it because, like you mentioned, we don't get to see Savage playing it very often. So I don't know what to expect here from Talon. But, well, John, I'll ask you the hard question before we do get into game number 2. Do you like the draft from Talon, or do you think RNG has a superior draft going into this second game?
I think it's relatively even. Both sides have a really good way of playing. Talon has decent mid-game timing now to play with. You don't need as much farm in comparison to last time. Sniper's probably your heaviest farming hero, and it's a pretty good solution to Bristleback. The point still stands. Maybe level 7 minutes is a scary time. You don't tend to take 2-minute levels and take aim. You're not going to have that massive range to just walk away or step away from the Impale, the Earth Spike, and that can be pretty scary as the Solar Guardian follow-up is there, but if you do manage to get the levels up, like, this is a Sniper and Lolita who can stand a mile back. So catching out these two long-range cores is going to be tough until the blink is up. And I think that's the concern. If Talon do manage to adapt and get their distancing just right to cut off that stun Solar Guardian play, you can kind of run this well. You've got pretty good long-range damage spells coming out with the Laguna and the Assassinate even. And it just gives him a few more options to deal with that Bristleback. So I think the pressure's on RNG to repeat what they did in Game 1. Because if they don't manage to run down these lanes, I think Talon has a pretty good chance of going for the outscale here.
I certainly agree with you on that, John. We'll see how this game number 2 does go. Of course, Talon backs against the wall now. RNG 1 game ahead in this best of 2 series. Talon would love to force a draw here, but naturally RNG would love the 2-0 victory. And based off the way they played that Game 1, they certainly are in a prime position to try and take this second game. But let's not judge too quickly. We'll see what happens. So there might be a fight to break out over those bounty runes prior to that 1 minute mark coming in. The problem is you are up against the Bristleback level 1, so chances are you don't really want to force a fight, but it seems like KP and Zeph are going to be able to zone Ana away from that top bounty, and it should still end up... Oh, it's actually be a 3-for-1. Okay, so RNG, they find 3 bounties anyway. Talon not in position to try and secure a second one, so already a net worth lead to go the way of RNG early on. A nice little cheeky start here for RNG. And while we're here, John, we'll start with the bottom lane. You're going to have 23 Savage and Hyde along, or rather against, Chalice on that Dawnbreaker and Kaka on the Lion. John, this is a very dangerous lane for Talon. Like, you get caught out once by an Earth Spike into the Starbreaker, you are just going to die as 23 Savage. There's just no surviving it.
Yeah, the one thing is, that opening is usually in the first 3 levels. Once you do at least have the value point and take aim, it's not as bad for the sniper to just stand back. You can just plink away at Chalice if he does step a bit closer, and Hyde does have more play on that Winter Wyvern. Again, he just pops Arctic Burn, trades really nicely with Kaka, giving the space out to Savage. He's going to be the one copying the Earth Spikes here. So as long as it's not Savage receiving that, then setting up for the Hammer along with the Starbreaker is a little bit tougher, and Savage should be able to farm a lot better in comparison to Game 1 at least.
Of course, the other side lane, John, up at top lane, and on X-Nova, going to be against Zephyr and KP once again. Zephyr, we already mentioned this, but had a pretty tough time in game number 1. See if you can kind of rectify that going into game 2 on the same hero, being the Tiny. KP, he'll switch it up with the Pos 3 Tango as Ana. And X-Nova, going to take a fair bit of damage here, but going to be just fine to walk away. Very important against the Bristleback as well, to just get as much damage in as early as possible. Once you get those initial points in the Bristleback, you're not going to get that much damage off. And well, bot lane, Savage is down. That combo we talked about, John, Earth Spike, Hex, into Starbreaker, and Celestial Hammer, you aren't going to survive right now if you are the sniper.
Yeah, you really just have to put your body here as Hyde, be the one to cop the spells, give Savage the farm. If you manage to focus him down, the lane becomes infinitesimally harder. You're going to need, again, levels and take aim there. At the least, top lane's also equally challenging for Ana.
Certainly is. Avalanche is there, but the stick charges are going to make sure Ana does survive. Is now Zephyr. Oh, he went too far for it. Ana, very nice bait with the stick charges. Is able to survive through it. Will even salve up thanks to X-Nova. So he's going to be just fine to stick around in the lane. And to be frank, John, he's almost got enough gold now for the Ring of Health anyway. So chances are he doesn't need to go back to the base for the reset. With that Talon, I think top lane, they've kind of almost missed their timing here to try and deal the damage to Ana that they needed to.
Yeah, you just gotta temper back the aggression, know when to really fully commit. The issue is they're both really tanky on RNG. Even trading with X-Nova can be pretty painful. So you have a lot of play there for RNG, and this is the point where that tiny support does need to soak a lot more EXP. You know, you don't have the value point in toss. You're gonna need to sap away from what KP wants to get, and Ana walks over. It doesn't quite buy out the Ring of Health though, but it's gonna be fine to walk away.
I like the way that Zephyr's just blocking the secret shop, just threatening Ana with an Avalanche combination, but doesn't have the toss-up right now, so really can't even hope to kill Ana at the moment. With that Ring of Health is there. How's the mid lane been going? You've had Somnus and Makoto going at it, and for now, it's a very even affair once again between these two as top lane. Bit of a chase here onto KP. A nice Avalanche, though, from Zephyr. And the Swashbuckle will be enough to take down the Ogre. That'll be the first kill coming up for Talon much earlier on than, say, Game 1.
It's not the biggest kill, but certainly something KP needs. Gonna have the full urn flying out next, so you can maybe start to look for more kills, build up the charges, start running from there. RNG again though, their lanes are set up to be a lot faster. They are starting to find it. Mid lane, as you mentioned, still even, but I do feel like this is much more of a Zeus favored lane. Your spam ability is just a lot better than the Lina.
Savage, Makoto, they're going at it, but Savage, the one taking too much damage here down at bot is Chalice, eventually is forced to back away. Meanwhile, mid lane, more rotations coming in now onto Somnus, but Savage actually chasing Chalice as his action all across the map. Nobody actually going to end up dying though. With that, again, the aggression really kicking up from RNG already. Savage CSing very well right now on the sniper, but it's been a very dangerous time for the poor man. He is still finding the farm though, which is certainly good news for Talon. Mid lane though, Makoto has been caught out and is going to drop Kaka. Very smart rotation of the Lion. He will not even die. He stick charges mid-toss and he makes it out.
Yeah, just knowing the limits of his movement here on the line, just preventing Talon from finding any trades back. Getting slowed down here from Makoto is pretty bad news. Again, this lane tends to favor the Zeus by a slight amount, at least in harassment back. Simply because Art Lightning is super annoying, and you're more mobile with Heavenly Jump in comparison to Lina. So Mikado can't really leverage his right clicks, walk forward, and try to harass. With that Fiery Soul, Zeus can always just kind of hop away. So, a bit of a slower start. RNG getting off on the right foot once more. Starting to get the early timings they want, especially on Ana. The Vanguard's not too far off. KP's trying to get aggressive with Zephyr, though.
He's trying. Not really too much they can do, even against the Ogre right now. Xnova will just kind of tank through it. Bot lane, Hyde, may just get jumped. Earth Spike is there, Chalice in with the Starbreaker, and that's going to be more than enough. Savage trying to get some sort of a trade, but gets nothing. He's only level 4 right now on the Sniper, and look at this Chalice just running him down. No fear in the world. Savage, he's trapped up by the creep wave. He'll try to run the other way, but Chalice, he'll keep chasing him down. Luckily, there was no Starbreaker available, but the TPs are coming in. Meanwhile, Kaka, he does go down to Savage, as now they've gone a bit too far. Chalice, he's gonna drop. Hyde with the rotation to make the kills work. 3 to 4 now. And Talon, they are putting a fight back up here against RNG for game number 2. It's Makoto, mid lane, will be chased down by the Zeus, but Xnova, he's going to intervene and help out Somnus. Makoto eventually should just drop and does. This Kaka even rotates over on the line, and that'll be another. Zephyr trying to help his mid laner out, but it's not going to be enough as Somnus will continue chasing, but Zephyr still alive for now. Surely not for long, as Xnova is there with the Fire Blast very soon, but the toss-up, Zephyr still trying. The Ignite, though, going to connect with the Earth Spike. It's off the mark, but the Thunder God's Wrath, it'll get the job done. So they do at least get Xnova for their trouble. But finding Makoto on the Lina, that's the big deal. They do find it.
And they're building up quite nicely now on Somnus. Mikado does have a little bit more EXP to play with, and is going into that BKB, so jumping him like that gonna be a lot tougher until you get that blink up on Kaka, but does feel like he has been having a pretty good time on the Lion, at least in getting action out for his team. 4-6, much more even in this game, as Talon are holding out quite nicely. They are giving Ana quite some space here, though. Again, Vanguard already up in the bristle, straight to the Ags. Next, Ana's just going to be looking to running around, and they're just not pressuring him as much as RNG's pressuring Savage. Smoke out now from RNG, looking to head down bot and plump up.
Absolutely. Kaka, he'll front line. Somnus will be right behind the line as they'll get some wards down. High ground in that Radiant jungle, and Makoto again going to get caught out. Perfect warding here from Kaka. Just reading the movement once again from the mid lane of Talon. Zephyr, he does get a quick D-ward out, but the damage is already done. Makoto, he had such a great laning start with the CS, but it's really fallen behind quite a bit thanks to all these kills coming out.
KP.
In a bit of trouble. Xnova trying to force out the Rolling Thunder, but never mind that. KP not even going to have a chance to do so, as Xnova was there with the stun out. Another kill to go the way of RNG.
And you're building up on RNG, 4-8. And you're going to hit those early timings on your Zeus here as well, going for the Kaya. And once that's up and running, gonna be really easy to burst some of these heroes down, especially since the BKBs are still a ways off for a lot of them. So you've got that big window now for RNG to play that aggressive game that we saw from game 1. And Talon, it's gonna be stall once more. Just need to try to keep stalling. They'll catch Chalice.
Nice rotation from Zephyr. KB gonna be around as well, and Talon, realizing how important Chalice was in game number 1, will really ensure that he could not have a game on this Dawnbreaker. Just feeding more kills back the way of 23 Savage.
Yeah, I like this change from Talon. They're emphasizing helping out Savage more, enabling their sniper to hit that early pace. KP's been getting a lot more active in comparison to his DP last time around. The one thing with Talon, though, is that they can't really use these kills to force a push. They have decent right click, but you're not going to be expecting your sniper and your lead to really focus on that. Haka.
Top lane again. Winter's Curse is there though. Hyde trying to turn this one around. Chalice going to delete his teammate as Makoto can keep going. And now Zephyr. What an avalanche toss combination. Chalice, he will keep running though, but the chase is on. Chalice, he's going to be okay to survive through it. But they do find Kaka on the Lion. A very nice curse out from Hyde. And so important for Hyde to continue landing these big curses throughout these engagements as now X-Nova dropping rather low on the Ogre, but he's going to be okay to survive through it.
Yeah, they're starting to get some pretty big stacks out for both Ana and Chalice to start clearing out. Important for both these heroes to find those early pickups. BKB for Chalice can be key in taking some of these fights, especially since the counterplay right now from Talon is just that curse on the Solar Guardian when they do try to set up the line. And that is enough to kind of throw it off. You also really need that Ags on Ana still, as we mentioned. Once you have the nasal goo going everywhere, the bonus damage from Warpath always being up is going to be an issue. As long as Ana can walk up to a target, these heroes are fairly squishy on the side of Talon. So you've always got a good response. And RNG, just go for the smoke again.
Meanwhile, the hell not. RNG really just trying to match or just increase the pace here against Talon. Into the triangle they go, but this time around Savage won't be around. Instead, they'll loop behind Makoto and Hyde and see if they can catch off this Wyvern into the Lina. In fact, it's a big wrap around Makoto and Hyde. They don't realize it. Thunder God's Wrath is there. That'll give all the vision they need. The Wyvern already gone here for Hyde as Makoto. He's going to try to find a way out, but there's no way out. Kaka will hand over the finger. RNG finding their 10th kill of the game. 1k advantage now the Dyer's way. And again, a very nice wraparound, making life as difficult as possible for Makoto.
It's a big to find the Lina. You slow down that BKB that he really needs to stand up front and just not care about the Lion, not care about the Zeus.
There's a wraparound here bot lane, John. KP gonna be around, but Starbreaker does stop the Rolling Thunder. Here it comes. Assassinate will be there to follow up, but Chalice is still alive. Salve's up. KP gonna try and take him out with the swashbuckle, but it's not gonna be enough. The salve does save the day as KP. He'll keep running towards the north. Somnus, no way to stun here, so KP is gonna be just fine to back his way out. And in the meantime, Makoto trying to get that pressure onto the mid-tier 1 tower. Does do quite a bit of damage here to RNG's mid-tier 1. And so nobody ends up dying down at that bot lane so far. Happy days for both teams. But you've got to admit, John, Talon doing a decent job this game number 2. Kind of forcing RNG across the map, but not allowing them to get the kills they want.
Yeah, they're not getting too much for the movement coming out. You're pretty happy with how the network's distributed right now for Talon. Considering you're 4 kills behind, you're not too far behind on network at all. Like, Ana's still number 1, but only by a slight margin. We're also getting that build up on Somnus, but Makoto's also not that far behind in comparison to the Zeus. The BKB timing should still line up. You're going to have a much faster blink here for Zephyr as well in comparison to game 1. And you're going to have that Spirit Vessel for KP sooner rather than later to kind of stop that Bristleback from feeling too tanky from the Solar Guardian heal. So some answers are presenting themselves. RNG still feels like they just have way more uptime in this aggression. When Fingers back up and Tundra God's Wrath is there, you can just smoke out, get a stun, and kill. You can always just play with that tempo for RNG, and Talon will have to understand that tempo a little bit more. They've just been caught off guard by the smokes a couple too many times, although they are lining up top, but without Zephyr's blink, gap closing right now is pretty tough.
Yeah, they are making, again, life as hard as possible here for Chalice, and it does go back to the meta a little bit. See, Pos 3 right now is one of the most important roles in the game, if not the most important, as Zephyr is going to move in with the Tumbler's Toy, but he's going to get an Avalanche off, and that'll be enough. Maybe just trying to force rotations from RNG, but no TPs do come in. RNG not flinching as KP now. He's going to show up. They'll see Chalice, but Chalice also sees him, and that's going to be enough to force him back into the tree line. As now Solar Guardian onto Savage. They've got the sniper locked down, and Kaka setting up another great fight here for RNG. Hyde going to try and survive with the cold embrace. Is going to be fine for now. They'll try to punish Chalice for his insolence, and maybe they find him with the Laguna and the Rolling Thunder. It's going to be enough. Thing is, it's a great trade for RNG. Finding that position 1 sniper, and now Anna, he can really start to pull ahead of this Pos 1.
Yeah, he's building up. Ags only 400 gold away, and that's up and running. You have to find some way of stopping Anna. No Silver Edge in sight yet for Mikado. I mean, he's still saving up for that BKB. You're also probably going to want the defusal on KP after the blink. And likelihood is he might just go blink Yules. I think a little bit of mana burn will make Anna's life a lot tougher. That could be an angle he takes down the line here as well. 17-11, 3k lead popping out for RNG off the back of those kills. Savage needs his own BKB. Like, he's going for Dragonlance first, and they might find Kaka.
Yeah, they should have him here. Savage, he'll take the kill with the Assassinate. Gonna pick up there onto Kaka as Anna gives the wall plate over to his support. A T1 top tower now to be focused down by KP, but we are 15 minutes into the game, so it is going to be quite a late side lane T1 to take. And RNG, they do actually have a chance to come defend this if they really want to. But it seems like they're more than happy with the timing of the Tier 1 going down, and they might just let this one go. Maybe focus on the mid lane Tier 1 tower of the side of Talon. Chalice is already there with X-Nova. Applying the pressure, but Makoto will be around to try and defend this, and looks like it might just be enough to force RNG back. At least they are moving up to defend the top Tier 1 now against KP. And so Talon, they don't really get much out of this. Just forcing rotations once again from RNG, but RNG, they don't really seem to mind. Anna's still farming, and the Ags is up and completed. This KP, maybe they'll go for a bit of a chase, but nah, they won't get nothing. Just back up to the top Tier 1 they go.
Really curious about what our odds are looking like here, and it is heavily favoring RNG Talon, considering that game 1 and considering the performance in the tournament overall. Probably very right in those odds. Just not the easiest time here for Talon and Savage.
Yeah, he's been watched, John. Anna's going to make his way over. Somnus, he'll stun him up for a moment. Savage, not going to make it out. Realizes it as well, as he will just drop. Anna, he'll take the kill. RNG, they've just found so many pickoffs around this area. Just able to always sneak their way in as they'll hide. Shows up for a moment, and Kaka, no hesitation, just jumps right in. It's KP, he might try to find a trade onto this line, but can't get it. There's just no damage. Onto the mid-tier 1 tower RNG goes, and really just no way of stopping them. Nothing they can do right now, I don't think, Talon.
Yeah, just give it away. Talon cut their losses, tried to play elsewhere, keep getting that build-up. You do have the BKB and Mikado, so there's a little bit more play. A little bit strange of Hyde to just stand there. He literally froze in place for like a second without moving, so gave that opportunity up to RNG. Gets punished without the Winter Wyvern, no curse, no play. Talon, there's a couple of weird things going on here, Mike. Hyde is going for Ags on his support Winter Wyvern. Like, it is a valuable Winter Wyvern Ags game, but I feel like you could get away with a couple of, intermediary items. Maybe a Blink, Glimmer Cape to save from the magic damage, at the very least, to mitigate some of that Zeus output. Force Staff to reposition your sniper if he's caught off guard. But they prioritize the Ags. I mean, if Hyde manages to find that in good timing, that could be one way to just make that Bristleback feel a lot softer. It's still a pause 5 trying to farm an Ags here, though.
Yeah. It certainly does feel valuable, like you mentioned, against the Bristle and even the Dawnbreaker. And it could even be just perhaps about the extra vision you get with that Arctic Burn throughout these engagements. It might just be about that, because consider, John, you are fighting against the Zeus, who just gets all the vision with that Thunder God's Wrath. So maybe they want to kind of match that with Hyde, but it is certainly an interesting item choice here from the Wyvern, that's for sure. RNG will have to be careful now. Talon smoked up as 4, but RNG, they are grouped up, ready to go, and Chalice, he just got his BKB. This is perfect timing for RNG to force a fight. They will throw in at least the Ogre, but the Solar Guardian is going to fly through. Still Makoto has his own BKB and will try to force a fight now onto Chalice, who does pop his own BKB. Back in onto Zephyr. Will continue chasing down the Tiny, but won't find nothing. RNG losing one Ogre for now. They will not be able to get any form of revenge onto Talon. And that should be good enough for Talon for now. Just happy with the kill they get. But RNG, they are not. They'll smoke up as 3. Anna will follow. See if they can find a pick off up at the top lane. And Zephyr, he is around the corner. He might break the smoke, but it may cost his own life as the smoke is broken on Chalice now. And Somnus, he pops the ulti, gets the vision, and they'll take the kill. Successful trade here for RNG once again.
They catch out Zephyr, bigger kill in the Tiny compared to the Ogre Magi. They don't manage to find any other stragglers, and Zephyr's sacrifice does allow Talon to back off, but still building up for RNG once more. 9-14, 2K lead still standing, not as wide as it was in game 1. Ana still having a pretty free game on his bristleback. The Talon aren't completely shut out yet. Savage for the Maelstrom should be able to farm. He is working onto his shard into the BKB. He's got some protection when he does get jumped once those items are up. Looks like he will offer BKB first. That should cut off a lot of the angles for RNG in jumping. He's got to react pretty quick to the Blink Hex and launch pockets on top. That still shouldn't be an issue for RNG.
Must admit, John, I've never seen that weapon on Bristleback. The whole fish thing he's holding right now. That's a new one, at least for me. I like it though. What's it called?
It's a nice one.
The Bog Stomper Fish Club. Very nice.
Yeah. Very, very nice. Very, very embarrassing to die to the bristleback being slapped around by a fish. Very, very suitable item for Ana. Enjoying himself there. But it's never fun if you're in the receiving end. That is Talon that's experienced right now, KP.
Yeah, gonna get stunned up here. Chalice again, and the finger. Kaka, 4 finger stacks now already on that line. 20 minutes into the game as they even found Hyde on the Winter Wyvern. He does have Curse up if he wants to commit and try to run, but instead he'll go for the Cold Embrace, and they will secure another kill here for RNG. It's 2 go down top lane. You get at least Makoto and Savage. They are trying to farm their way up, and they are doing a decent job of it, but like you just mentioned, John, Ana, he's still just out-farming them quite a bit on this Bristleback, and well, sadly for Talon, they still don't have a way of breaking the Bristle.
We'll have one soon. Silver Edge being farmed up by Mikado already has a Shadow Blade at the least. So once that break mechanic's up, it should be much easier to handle that Bristleback for sure. Gonna take more time, but not too much time. So some solutions are presenting themselves. RNG, I mean, they could start to platoon. This Zeus is, you know, up against BKBs. It's not going to feel great. And Talon will go for their first big group up for the smoke here.
They will. Talon. They'll move in. And smoke up. What can they find? Hyde. He'll get some wards down. X-Nova will be spotted. So Zephyr makes the jump in onto the Ogre. That'll be the Pos 5 gone here for RNG. Not the greatest kill in the world, but maybe they can rotate into Roshan still. Zephyr has been caught out. A curse is there, but it only catches 1. Chalice still fine, but now the toss back. Zephyr setting up another kill. We'll find a second as Ana. Spirit Vessel is there. He'll BKB up and does find Zephyr. Meanwhile, towards the south, Kaka tried to move in, but could not get Savage as he drops as well. Talon successfully able to fight back now against RNG, but the fight's not over yet. Ana, he'll show up once again. He might just find Hyder here on the Wyvern, but Arctic Burn is out, and that's going to be enough to get him out of there. So a successful team fight the way of Talon this game around. And RNG, back to the drawing board for them.
Yeah, I mean, there is that one thing Talon can do about Ana in the middle of these fights. You could still ignore the Bristol. At least until the point where he gets an Abyssal, you don't really need to concern yourself too much if you can kite him around. And you do have enough to kite here from Talon's end, so they prioritize the other target first. They back off. Ana can't really keep chase. And a hit and run does go Talon's way. Still a 2k lead for RNG though, not the biggest loss in the world. As Ana is still up there, although his lead is only about 1k now on that Bristle, working towards his Blink and the Assault Cuirass. That's going to be the point where it's going to be pretty hard to ignore him. And he's starting to take the charge here.
And he is, but they've got a silver edge up. Still, it won't matter. KP already gone is now Zephyr. Going for a toss back, but the Solar Guardian is going to be there to help out still Kaka. Does at least drop, and now the curse is out onto Chalice. They've locked in 3 of them, but do they have the follow-up? Chalice, he's going to barely survive as Talon. They will back their way out, but keep in mind Makoto. He does have silver edge up now, so maybe they can force it onto Ana. Ms. Ana is going to back off, and they will not find the opening they were looking for. So a successful team fight this time around for RNG. And hell, they might even force Roshan here with the bristle. But never mind Ana, he turns around, goes the other way.
Yep. It's still a little bit risky to go into the Roshan. I mean, Winter's Curse is down. But if it was up, it would be a bit tough. That would have been an opening, but probably not feeling too safe without the Lion to help them set up for that fight. Talon just getting that build up. Yeah, with that silver edge up in Mikado, this is the moment where you can get a lot more aggressive, and Savage is a lot more protected with that BKB. So this is where things can kind of kick into gear. You're not completely worried about Somnus trying to burst everyone down now. On the Zeus, his output just stops for several seconds. That's more than enough time to try to get a handle on that hero. But RNG, despite that little bit of back and forth, they still have that 4K lead. Widening it back up, blink up on Ana. So you can't just ignore him. He will jump on top of you. You've got to be able to jump him first. And we'll see whether or not Mikado finds the angles with his silver edge.
We'll see. There's going to be a smoke up here from Talon. Savage, he will not be smoked, but he'll be right behind the team. Well, that blink from Ana is certainly going to be very effective in being able to jump the backline right onto Savage. Zephyr barely missing out on Kaka. They'll find Ana and step, but look at the blink here and hide. Already being targeted here. The arm burn, but will allow him to get away now. Talon roaming around. Solar Guardian will be there rolling thunder. Stunning immediately is Ana. So it goes down Makoto. He's in such big trouble. He will not the arena. Ana just rushes him. Chalice still chasing hard on Wyvern. Is not going to be able to get him. It will end up being a 2-2 trade, but it is still in the favor of RNG as now Somnus. Going to be attacked by Savage, but I'm not sure about this one, Savage. He'll go for a TP out with the BKB, and he's going to make it. He just wanted to try for a very quick kill onto the Zeus beforehand, but now RNG, seeing the TP out by Savage, will go right into the Roshan, and it doesn't appear to be any way of stopping this from happening.
Goes a bit too fast. Zephyr does have blink, but they need to move quickly, and just not going to be quick enough. Ana with 2 lives, much bigger issue to deal with. That split up fight just constant. Mikado needed to be on point with a break. Wasn't there.
Certainly not. Zephyr now. They'll be okay to blink out on the Tiny. 15 to 21. 6k advantage the way of RNG. Talon certainly putting up a much better fight this game too. You see that Dota Plus score, John, not looking too healthy the way of Talon. 79% the way of RNG. They do find Hyde down to that bot lane as well. Kaka, just an absolute menace on his signature Lion. And John, 6 finger kills now. So 240 bonus damage on those fingers. Very nice.
Lots of HP coming out as well with the Talon. Lots more durable on that hero. Only having the 4-staff really for stats. More than enough. RNG, 7k lead. Just need to clear out some of those tier 2s, and then they can pressure high ground. The high ground hold of Talon is decent. They've got Curse, they've got a sniper to stall out the game somewhat, but they do have really good jump. Like with the Ags from Somnus, just Nimbus on the supports, just have Kaka go in first as well, and Solar Guardian top, and you clean up very fast. I think that's the issue for Talon, especially if they lose Hyde. If Hyde dies, your counterplay is gone. You really need that Curse to help get control, especially through the BKBs. And Hyde has no way of being defensive. Again, no Blink, no Glimmer Cape, no 4-staff. He's just dead caught out.
Here we go. Top lane, KP has been caught out, and that's going to be another kill to go the way of RNG as Chalice now able to afford the full basher up and does pick it up immediately. Even more kind of utility here for the Dawnbreaker. Oh, Solar Guardian is out. Zephyr is caught. Kaka once again, setting up another great fight. Well, Tiny just not long for this world as RNG just not slowing down, just rushing the side of Talon. They will lose X-Nova thanks to Makoto. With that, RNG, they might just slow down for a moment. Not wanting to go too far into that Lena. Or back off.
Yeah, just no need to rush. Aegis still standing for about 2 minutes 40. You've got Ana with his own basher ready to go. Upgrade for the Abyssal, only 700 gold away. And once that's up, with a blink, again, you can't just ignore the Bristleback. So we'll have to see if Hyde's investment on his Ags is going to pay off, as he does have gold for it.
Kaka's trying to solo this Lina, and he's going to do it too. Oh, Kaka! I mean, he had the Nimbus from Somnus, but that's a real concern if you're this Lina, John. Like, Makoto, he gets stunned up, and he's just dead.
Yeah, it's again, you have BKBs, but you have to anticipate the line, and you still have really good jump from RNG to preempt the BKB use. Talon needs good vision. They do have decent wards, but so does RNG to play offensive, and RNG's just been leveraging that information game, even all the way back in game 1. They're always on point with where they want to play, where they know the enemy will want to play, and just punish them constantly.
Just incredible play from the support line. I mean, it's something you come to expect from Kaka on this hero, but it's every time. It's now Zephyr gonna make the jump in. X-Nova already gone, but Zephyr, he's in big trouble now. The Solar Guardian will fly through. Anna, meanwhile, has found Savage. Bash is there. There will be a curse out to try and protect the sniper, but it's not gonna be enough. This Blink Dagger on Anna really paying off now. As there's 4 heroes down for Talon. It just happens so quick.
And now you can clean up an RNG, go for the additional tier 2s, threaten onto the high ground. Aegis not the most time left. If you have managed to just build up your lead once more, shut down Talon. Savage, he's got some farm, it's just not enough farm. Needing that Hurricane Pike now, understanding that he will just be jumped. The shard not enough to keep him safe. And still a ways off from getting that, even just the Force Staff from that equation. Respawns are fairly short at least for Talon, so they're going to be around for the defense. You really need Hyde here. And again, he does have the Ags, so maybe they can slow it down somewhat with that Arctic Burn when he does come back up.
Free tower, John just can't survive. Anna hitting for about 500 damage right now with these right clicks. Not very fun to have to watch your base fall to this Bristleback like this, but Talon, without the sniper, have no way of defending. But have to watch it go down. RNG, they will spare them a second Rax for now. Just back off and get back to the drawing board. Get a reset and maybe come back a bit later on, but there's a 16k advantage as bot lane. KB, he'll get the Rolling Thunder, and he will be able to survive for the meantime. The Somnus getting tipped here by Anna. Not exactly sure what happened there, but it won't matter too much.
Yeah, and I mean, you managed to force out a roll. It's not the longest cooldown in the world, but you're also stopping KP from just holding a lane and trying to build his own farm up. 1728, 17k lead for RNG. They only have one outer tower left to worry about from Talon. They're 1 racks up. Talon haven't made any inways towards tier 2s. It's another slow game. Again, better circumstances than game 1, but it doesn't feel all too much better. I mean, they need to find a way of playing with what they have, because they have enough to get those kills, but they're not really able to find the big ones. They're finding support kills here and there. They haven't been able to touch this Bristleback. Ana's still 604.
That he is, John. That he is. He's just got no fear in the world either. Like, he'll just blink right into that sniper or even Makoto on the Lina. Again, the Blink Dagger really paying off here for this Bristleback this game, and he always knows he's got the backup. Chalice will always be there with the Solar Guardian in case he needs it. And hell, now Chalice has got an overwhelming blink himself, so it just gets worse and worse for the backline of Talon, being the sniper and the Lina. They are still farming, and yeah, they've got some great high ground defense as 5, but it's still going to be rough, and we might find out very soon how that high ground will go, as RNG are slowly setting up for the bot lane. They won't commit yet, but Makoto, oh, he's going to get jumped on. Kaka, he just has no mercy. Right in. Earthspike was there. Zephyr gonna try and punish, but the Aeon Disc is out. Kaka will not die. KP's gonna roll back towards Anna, but that's not where you want to go right now. Anna stuns him up. The physical damage is just way too high. This KP's still running. Anna, he won't die Fountain. That's something new.
Yeah, plays it safe, plays it smart, opts clear out the racks, and
First is there, but Kaka is still safe. Nothing coming out here from Anna. Kaka, was that
E-Blade.
E-Blade was out from Somnus, and now the double stun. Away onto Makoto. He'll try to fight back on the Lina. It might be getting close to that time with the Fountain Dive start coming, John. They're moving pretty darn close here on RNG. Makoto getting jumped by Chalice, but no, Ethereal Blade will save the day for Makoto now as Kaka is going to back his way out, but he has his own Ghost Scepter now. 2 racks is up here for RNG, 3 down for Talon. That was a full team wipe, that last engagement. And to make matters worse, John, there's a double damage rune sitting at that bottom rune spot. So RNG, they could really just come back at any time.
They've got the full AC ready to go here on Ana. Once the courier comes in, so even more durability coming out from that bristle. It feels like they need a Linkens on at least one, legitimately, just to block the Hex and just get your BKB off on Kaka jumps, because that's been the one play that RNG's been playing off the back of, and they haven't itemized against it on Talon. Roshan is up, going to be taken from RNG very quickly here. Roshan number 2 with 3 shards. Big shards to hand over onto Ana, but they'll give it to Kaka instead, so he's got even the spell immunity on the mana drain split.
And why not? Why not? Kaka's just been incredible. And look at Ana onto Hyde, finds the Wyvern. Still, maybe they can find their revenge this time around. The Laguna is there. That'll be the first life. A good start here for Talon, at least finding that Aegis. It's KP. Roll around onto X-Nova, but we'll back off as now. Earthspike Kaka once again onto Savage. Ana just gonna rush him down. This sniper just trying to get away, but Ana, he won't let it happen. He just goes right after Makoto afterwards. And Zephyr will toss him up, but the GG's called. Talon, no buybacks available. RNG just proving to be the better team here today, John. First game around, I gave props to Chalice. This second game, John, you gotta mention Kaka. This man's lying. It's